Hey everyone, welcome into Attacking Third late night, Attacking Third after dark, Attacking Third, whatever you want to call it. We're here talking U.S. Women's National Team following their loss to Japan in the SheBelieves Cup. We are breaking it all down. You know the drill. Like, follow, subscribe, join the convo in the chat. We're reading, we're answering your questions, and we're all here for you at this crazy hour. Dee, you're usually up at this time. Is this what you're usually doing on YouTube?
I am. I got energy right now. Yep. Watching soccer games till 1 a.m., getting ready to do a podcast off the cuff. Yeah, I like this. This is good energy.
Heck
This is the club.
yeah. This is
Welcome, ladies.
setting the tone for the year of NWSL. Darian Jenkins, Sandra Herrera, Christine Cupo. I'm Lisa Carlin. Bless you, Christine. I saw that a
I
moment
muted
ago.
myself. See that? I'm not sneezing on the track tonight.
Sandra came dressed for the club, for the A3 club. She's looking
That's me.
fire.
That's me. Don't get bounced, folks. Don't get bounced from the chat, okay? Everybody have a good time tonight, all right?
Stay safe out there, everyone. A3 after dark. And we're talking the U.S. Women's National Team and their 2-1 loss to Japan in the final match day of the SheBelieves Cup. The U.S. have not won the SheBelieves Cup, the first time since 2019 that they failed to lift this trophy. Is this considered a failure for the U.S., Sandra, that they don't win the SheBelieves Cup right now?
No, it's not considered a failure. I mean, this is the 10th anniversary of the SheBelieves Cup, and this team at this point has won what 7 or 8 like 7 of these things. It's they're pretty dominant in this category. And I think to Emma Hayes' credit, she tapered a lot of expectations going into this tournament because of the types of objectives that they wanted to go out there and achieve. And yes, I think one of those was, of course, to win a cup, to win a trophy. But that's an objective that I think that they fell short of. But I think when it comes to all the other things that have been laid out there, they pretty much checked off a lot of those boxes.
But the U.S. are gold medal winners. This doesn't
Yeah.
count as a little bit of a failure, Christine?
Gosh,
I
how
think
high
it's
do you
both.
rate
I
SheBelieves Cup?
think
Goodness.
I think that you don't enter any competition, friendly or otherwise, and aim to lose, right? So yes, it is a failure. Everybody, I think, for the most part, expected them to win yet another She Believes Cup. This was, I think, by design, what Emma Hayes had intended. It was a true test of this U.S. women's national team, of the roster selection that she brought into this tournament. And it's also a sample of some of the weaknesses that exist. I had a coach once that used to tell me, because I was really frustrated at everything because I expected to be perfect all the time, that you can't be mad if you go searching for limits and you finally find them. And I think that this exposes a lot for what the US women's national team has to work for in order to have the depth that is required to make deep runs into bigger stage tournaments.
An opportunity, a test for the U.S. This was a lot of different things you can say. And there's always the old trope, if you lose, it's not a failure. If you're learning from it, if players get experience. But the fact that the U.S. couldn't pull out 3 wins, 3 wins where they were growing as a team and ultimately lifting the title, I think says a lot about the test that Emma Hayes is going to put forth with this group and the competition that she wants to see with them moving forward, and knowing that she was going up against a Japanese side that had already dominated in the SheBelieves Cup, winning their back-to-back games. 4 goals, scoring 4 in each of them, winning 4-0 and then 4-1 against Colombia and Australia. But still rolling out with just 1 change from their opening match day. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for Japan first. We'll start with them. They started in their typical formation with Yamashita in the back line, Kirigawa, Kamagai, Takarade, Moriya, Najano, Hasegawa, Momika in the midfield, and then Fujino, Tanaka, and Hamano up top. A little bit of change, but off on the front foot, Darian. This was a group that was looking to attack in good moments. What do you see from Japan?
Structure, organization, tenacity, energy going against the US. I mean, these are all things that the US and Emma Hayes were very aware of was going to be a big challenge. I mean, even just the way that Japan has always played has had those exact characteristics. Now you're going against a team that every single player is on the same page on that team. Every single player. And now you're bringing in a lot of new characters with still a relatively new coach to the US who's building out US soccer as we speak.
Darian, Nils has only been with Japan for a couple months, and he's made them look a little bit more solid than they did at the Olympics.
A lot more solid. But the way that they play, the structure, how tight their lines are, Japan has always been that way. It's how effective they are on the attacking side that I think has been their downfall against a lot of teams like the US. But this tournament has proven they're efficient as hell in front of the goal. They are going to score in a variety of ways. They are going to be so dangerous. There's not one way that you can stop every single way that they're looking to attack. And I love that the US got to really have to step up. And it is a disappointment to not walk away winning this tournament. It is. It's the United States.
Yeah.
The level is to always win. It's crazy, but pressure makes diamonds. That's why this team is legendary. But I do love that Emma Hayes put these players out there to fail. You have to fail to get better. This is going to teach them way more than if they came and demolished in this game off of just being more athletic or kind of playing to the same old US soccer style of play against Japan. They were trying a lot of new things. And I think the issue, I know we're going to get into it, I'm jumping ahead, but I think the issue we saw was almost information overload with a lot of these players and not having the same connections that this Japanese team has always had. It's ingrained in their culture, the way that they train. And we just didn't, the US did not have that same level. And it really showed in this match.
It was really black and white from Japan to the US and how these two teams played. And you mentioned the connections, Dee, that Japan has individually as a group and how they play. But when you contrast that with the U.S. women's national team and who Emma Hayes rolled out with, we saw 11 changes from match day 1 to match day 2. 10 changes heading into match day 3 against Japan. So it was a very similar lineup to the first match from the US against Colombia. Only one change from that lineup with Crystal Dunn slotting in for Jenna Nightswanger. But in the back, it was Jane Campbell in goal for her second match of the SheBelieves Cup tournament. Crystal Dunn, Tara McKeown, Emily Sonnet, and Emily Fox across the back line. Sam Coffey, Lil Johannes, and Lindsay Heaps in the midfield. Ali Sentnor, Katarina Macario, and Yasmin Ryan to round out the front line, Christine. Does that mean that those 11 that we saw, or 12 if we're including Nightswanger, who started the Colombian match, are the front runners of this quote-unquote B team we're calling this U.S. group right here?
I don't know if it means anything yet at this point, but for me, yes. I had handpicked, not that I'm the authority on this, but like I had handpicked that those two particular lines. I thought that they worked really well together. And I think that we're starting to see some really good burgeoning relationships, like Sentnor and Kat working together really, really well. Obviously, with some more playing time together, I think that that chemistry will work out really well. They have different skills that really complement each other. And I think that they can be an absolute force in that top line in lieu of, say, triple espresso, or interchangeably with them as they get more minutes under their belt. The midfield for me, again, Lily Johannes. I know that Emma Hayes has requested specifically that she's not overhyped. I don't think by any means we're overhyping her in assessing her raw talent that still can be cultivated and should be. She's very composed on the ball. She has great vision in the game. She's very unruffled when she's under pressure, and remarkably strong for someone who looks like, not to be disparaging, but like a string bean. She's just absolutely great. Lindsay Heaps, I think, is a stabilizing force, as she has been. I know that the chat is kind of mixed on this. I see you guys chatting away on this point. I think that she did become a little bit of a target this match, but I think just based on her size and contrast and just sort of the way that she plays, they were going to do that. They were going to try to muscle up on her, and Japan did a good job of it.
Lindsay Heaps held it down in the midfield for me for the U.S. She was a stabilizing factor for this U.S. group, putting her foot on the ball, trying to control a lot of it, especially when there were so many moments for the United States where it was chaotic, unforced errors. They weren't passing on the mark, and you needed a veteran, someone in there to just say, okay, I'm going to control this. It took a little bit, but we did get there.